Hello, dear students. Welcome to Massive Open Online course English for Mining Engineering, Module 5, Prominent Scientist. Last time we studied Unit 1 and we spoke about prominent Isaac Tyson. This time we are going to study Unit 2 about Thomas Edison. The information includes the following. 2.1 Thomas Edison. 2.2 The Menlo Park Laboratory. 2.3 Thomas Edison's inventions. Okay, 2.1 Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison is one of the world's most noticeable visionaries, often using copper to bring his inventions to life. He developed many devices in different fields. In 1869, when Edison was 22 years old, he patented his first invention and advertised that he would hereafter devote his full life to bringing out his inventions. During the 84 years of his life, Edison became one of the greatest inventors and industrial leaders in history. Edison obtained 1,093 United States patents, the most issued to any individual. 2.2 The Menlo Park Laboratory. During his most inventive years, Edison conducted experiments in his Menlo Park, New Jersey laboratory. He did not work alone. A team of talented workers assisted him all hours of the day and night. These men had the skill to make Edison's idea and sketches into real devices of wood, wire, glass, and metal. The laboratory at Menlo Park was an invention factory and a business. On December 31, 1879, Thomas Edison demonstrated his first famous invention, the first practical incandescent electric lamp. He was not, however, the first inventor to experiment with electric light. When Edison began testing possibilities for incandescent lamp, the arc light was already becoming popular for lighting streets, department stores, and other large areas. Incandescent lamps make light by using electricity to heat a thin strip of material called filament. It's hot that it glows. Many inventors tried to perfect incandescent lamp to subdivide electric light or make it smaller and weaker. These lamps are examples of less successful versions of the incandescent lamp patented by other inventors before Edison completed his practical lamp in 1879. One of the important features of Edison lamp and electrical system was a simple modern circuit familiar as today. Edison tried to find a material that would become incandescent and not melt when heated by electricity. For a long time he tried platinum, but finally he made his filaments by carbonizing a kind of cardboard called Bristol board. In earlier lamps, too much oxygen caused the filaments to burn. Edison acquired the best vacuum pump so he could empty his bulb of as much air as possible. Because of this, these carbon filaments did not burn. Edison men used vacuum pump to evacuate electric lamp. Edison also developed an entire system to make electricity and distribute it to many places at the same time. Edison's system included dynamos, switches, electric meters, fuses, distribution lines, and regulators. Edison spent the next few years working on an electrical system that would be successful commercially. This meant he had to be certain that he could make a central power station and that his electricity would be cheap enough for people to afford. Soon Edison demonstrated that his system could become a commercial success. Harper's Weekly published his drawing of man-line tubes for electrical wires to Edison's system in June 1882. That year, the Pearl Street generating stations began to supply electricity to streets and buildings in a small area of New York City. The lab comes to Greenfield Village. Thomas Edison's Menlo Park Laboratory complex and the inventions he made there are over 100 years old. When Edison built the laboratory in 1876, it was the first industrial research laboratory in the United States. By 1886, Edison and his entire team had abandoned the Menlo Park site. In the 1920s, Henry Ford wanted to move the oil invention factory to his museum in Dearborn, Michigan. When Ford and Edison went to New Jersey to discover buildings, they found that the most of them had been removed or had collapsed. Ford has his staff reconstruct the Menlo Park buildings from photographs and few surviving original materials. 2.3 Thomas Edison inventions. While working on the photograph, Edison began working on a device that does for eyes that the photograph does for ear. This was to become motion pictures. Edison first demonstrated motion pictures in 1891. He began commercial production of movies 2 years later in a peculiar-looking structure built on the laboratory grounds, known as the Black Maria. Like the electric light and the phonograph before it, Edison developed a complete system developing everything needed to both film and show motion pictures. 2. Edison's new challenge was to develop a better storage battery for use in electric vehicles. Edison very much enjoyed automobiles and owned a number of different types during his life. Powered by gasoline, electricity, and steam, Edison thought that electric propulsion was clearly the best method of powering cars, but realized that conventional lead-acid storage batteries were inadequate for the job. Edison began to develop alkaline battery in 1899. It proved to be Edison's most difficult project, taking 10 years to develop a practical alkaline battery. By the time Edison introduced no alkaline battery, the gasoline-powered car had been so improved that electric vehicles were becoming increasingly less common, being used mainly as delivery vehicles in cities. However, the Edison alkaline battery proved useful for lighting railroad cars and signals, maritime buoys, and miners' lamps. Unlike iron ore mining, the heavy investment Edison made over 10 years was repaid handsomely, and the storage battery eventually became Edison's most profitable product. Further, Edison's work paved the way for the modern alkaline battery. By 1911, Thomas Edison had built a vast industrial operation in West Orange. Like Ben Franklin, Thomas Alva Edison was both a scientist and an inventor. Born in 1847, Edison would see tremendous change take place in his lifetime. He was also to be responsible for making many of those changes occur. When Edison was born, society still thought of electricity as a novelty, Ted. By the time he died, entire cities were lit by electricity. Much of the credit for the progress goes to Edison. In his lifetime, Edison patented over 1,093 inventions, earning him the nickname the Wizard of Menlo Park. The most famous of his inventions was an incandescent light bulb. Besides the light bulb, Edison developed the phonograph and the kinetoscope, a small box viewing moving films. He also improved upon the original design of the stock ticker, the telegraph, and Alexander Graham Bell telephone. He believed in hard work, sometimes working 20 hours a day. Edison was quoted as saying, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." In tribute to his important American, electric lights in the United States were dimmed for 1 minute in October 21, 1931, a few days after his death. So, dear students, I hope that you memorize everything. I hope that you like this information. So, the next time we are going to study Unit 3 and we are going to speak about another prominent inventor, James Watt. Thank you for your attention. All the best.